the #1 reason young people stay poor. As a young person fresh out of school, it's very easy to get caught up in the race to quickly earn as much as possible. The trend nowadays is how can you make money? How can you maximize your income? How to establish passive income streams? But the real question is, how much are you learning? Multi-billionaire Warren Buffett deeply believes in the power of learning, as his colossal fortune actually depends on this. He said, "It's good to learn from your mistakes. It's better to learn from other people's mistakes." Being young, you have your whole life ahead of you. And this is good because this affords you the opportunities to make mistakes and learn from them, or better still, learn from the mistakes of others. Trying to earn without putting in work to acquire the necessary skill set is like trying to harvest where you did not sow. To better understand this, let's consider two farmers. Both these folks plant their seeds at the same time, but come to harvest season, one's got a bumper crop while the other's left with scraps. Why the difference? Well, one of them paid attention to the soil quality, babied the plants, and gave them all the TLC they needed. The other, well, they just chucked the seeds wherever and did the bare minimum. Now, picture these farmers as two fresh out of school youths. One of them takes the time to really soak in the skills they need before diving into the job market, just like soaking those seeds in good soil. But the other, they jump right in without enough prep and training. Note what Buffett said. The best investment you can make is in yourself, not necessarily in a college degree. And he's got a point. These two young dudes are headed for completely different paths, there's no doubt about it. The one who's rushing into the job market might look like they're raking in the cash initially, but down the line, they could burn out, running themselves ragged. On the flip side, the folks who put in the effort to learn the ropes might seem like they're taking a slow start. But when they do enter the job market, they're going to climb up the ladder because they've got the know-how. Here's the real kicker. Mixing learning into your career is way more crucial than pushing yourself to the limit. It's like investing in yourself for the long haul. And trust the process because it pays off big time. A prime example of the patient student is Buffett. Although he graduated at the top of his classroom at Columbia Business School, he didn't rush head-on into the earning field. Rather, he approached the iconic investor Ben Graham and even offered to work for him for free. That right there is patience and smarts rolled into one. Learning is not actually restricted to a certain field as it applies to all aspects of life, be it sports, sales, freelancing, or trading. The main question you should be asking yourself when learning is, am I putting in double the effort than my peers? To maximize your learning potential, you have to be learning twice as much as your peers, even if you feel that you have mastered a certain field. The bitter truth is, you can't fully master any field because the more you learn, the more you realize that you actually don't know anything. And this is where the Dunning-Kruger effect comes in. To fully understand this concept, take Amanda as an example. She's a 17-year-old fresh out of high school. But rather than go to college, she decides to pursue a career in writing. In school, she was an exceptional writer and always wrote the best essays and often got the praise and accolades of her teachers. Therefore, she believed she was a pro in writing and assumed that she could easily make a living from freelancing. Consequently, she started as a freelance writer, but she soon realized after a couple of jobs that she was actually not as much of a good writer as she had initially assumed. Her writings were good, but they lacked the it. Her blog wasn't doing so well, and her clients were not so satisfied either. However, she was smart and realized that pursuing a career in writing took more than being able to write grammatically perfect essays. Rather, it involved the ability to make your content fluid-like and palatable to different kinds of audiences. So, she decided to ask for mentorship from the top writers in her niche. And the more she learned, she realized that she actually didn't know that much about writing. Bear in mind that the feeling of never being good enough doesn't undermine your efforts, but rather polishes your skill set to be able to deliver stellar quality. Learning never stops, even after being at the top in your field. And the younger you are, the more you have to earn respect in your field. The best way to get through the work field is to always bear in mind that no one owes you respect till you earn it. And this is irrespective of your age, gender, culture, or background. This doesn't mean you shouldn't be confident in your skills, but having confidence is in stark contrast to overestimating your skills. If Amanda hadn't backtracked and tried to work on her skill set, she would have continued to believe she was one of the best out there, when, in fact, she wasn't. Fast forward to 5 years, Amanda is now one of the top earners on the freelance platform. And though one could arguably say that she has sufficient experience and has accumulated an enviable skill set, she still believes that she needs to continue learning as she earns to ensure that she is better able to understand her audience as time changes. This method doesn't just work in the freelance sector, but also applies to other aspects. No matter your path in life, it's very important not to rush the learning aspect, because it's indeed the best investment you can make. Take Dr. Dre, for instance. He started out as a rapper, but soon learned that he was better at producing and focused on that. He honed his skills in production and signed artists to Aftermath Records. He collaborated with big stars such as Mary J. Blige, Eminem, and 50 Cent. His record was going very well, but the learning never stopped though. When there were talks about Apple's white earphones, Dre entered another learning phase and collaborated with Jimmy Iovine to create Beats Electronics. Spent a great deal of effort and learning to produce products that rivaled premium brands. Competed with Apple up until the high-tech company decided to purchase Beats Electronics for a staggering $3 billion. Unfortunately, a lot of youths skip the learning stage and are quick to start the earning process, bargaining for what they're not worth and getting disappointed when things don't go their way. Of course, it's easy to get sidetracked when you see your peers earning more than you are. And you might even feel you aren't doing so much in life when you see 1 in thousands cases of people earning millions at a young age. The hard fact is that earning millions at a very young age doesn't happen to everyone, and it might not happen to you. But you can be sure of the certainty of achieving financial freedom when you put in the work for yourself now. Prioritize ravaging knowledge at every corner. And as you slowly invest in your skill set, you can be sure that when you're ready to enter the earning market, you'll rise through the ranks exponentially. Feeling too good for that zero or low-income internship? In actual reality, you'll be earning more from it than you realize, but not in cash. You'll be earning in knowledge. You might not realize it now, but your future self will thank you for that much-needed investment. Overall, don't fall victim to trying to earn as much as you can now. Rather, try to learn as much as you can. Because a bigger challenge is waiting, your retirement. But don't worry, with the right preparation, you can also master this challenge easily. Watch the video appearing on the screen right now.